Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did. So let's get started. Number 5 was Caught Stealing, making $3.1 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $14 million and its worldwide total to $24 million. So yeah, Caught Stealing still not making much of an impact at the box office. It took a big hit this weekend, falling 59%, which is just adding insult to injury at this point. The movie didn't open very big and it's not holding very well. There's just not a lot of interest with this movie. The word of mouth is very lackluster, and despite the fact that the movie isn't that expensive, it's $40 million and it's made half of that back, it still needs to double that, and this movie's just not gonna get there, unfortunately. I think they were hoping for like that late summer surprise with this one, you know, the star power of Austin Butler, Darren Aronofsky at the helm. Maybe that would have generated interest, but clearly there just isn't much there to be had with this movie, unfortunately. So yeah, gonna be a pretty big flop for Caught Stealing, unfortunately. There just isn't much interest with this movie, sadly. Number 4 was Freakier Friday, making $3.8 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $87 million and its worldwide total to $142 million. Freakier Friday still holding very well. It's still the sleeper hit right now. I gotta respect the staying power this movie has had, because you would assume like it would have fallen off a bit given its opening, but no, the movie clearly still has staying power. People still want to go out and see it, despite it being, you know, back to school season. Kids don't have as much time to go to the movies, but it's clear that families still want to go check it out, or fans of the original are still watching and rewatching this movie. It's really impressive to see this movie continue to leg out very well. I think in terms of comparing it to the original, it's going to be about even. I think worldwide it's going to increase slightly, but on the domestic side it's going to be on par probably with the original, which again isn't a bad thing. They weren't, I don't think they were expecting, you know, the next Lilo and Stitch or anything with this one. But yeah, these are still really solid, impressive numbers. It definitely clearly has staying power, being the big family movie people want to go and see. And with still a couple more weeks until the next family film, of all things, Gabby's Dollhouse, this movie's going to continue to make the most out of that time. So yeah, still doing really well, solid numbers for Freakier Friday. Number 3 was Weapons, making $5.2 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $142 million and its worldwide total to $250 million. That's right, folks. Not only is this movie domestically just $8 million shy from the $150 million milestone, but it has already surpassed the $250 million milestone worldwide. That is incredible, man. I don't think anybody was expecting the movie to reach this level of popularity, this high of an accomplishment, and yet here we are, despite the fact that there is another horror movie out right now. I honestly think that might have helped it a bit. You know, it didn't like, you know, do like astonishingly compared to the new horror movie, but I think compared to the other one that probably had a lot of sold out showings, this was probably a lot of people's second option. So maybe a lot of people went to go and see this in case the other one was sold out or too crowded for them. So I think that definitely helped it out, with it also being, you know, the unofficial start of spooky season. I've been seeing a lot of pumpkins and skeletons around and about, so I think some people were also in the mood to go check out a horror movie, and with the acclaim and reception this movie got, I think it definitely helped it out this weekend as well. So yeah, another great solid weekend for Weapons. I cannot wait to see how much more this movie can make in the long run. I do feel we're in the slowdown period, given how low we're at with the numbers right now, but it's not like we're seeing like big drastic drop-offs at this point or anything. So I think the slowdown period is definitely approaching, but it's not gonna be anything like big or drastic or anything. So yeah, Weapons continues to surprise me in the best way possible. Number 2 was Hamilton, making $10 million this weekend domestically. That total stays the same worldwide as it wasn't released internationally. I briefly discussed this last week, saying that it was just another one of the new wide releases, mostly because this was just the version that's on Disney Plus, but now released in theaters, and I didn't think it was gonna make a huge splash. I didn't think it would flop or anything, but maybe like in the Jaws re-release sense. But this movie definitely took me a bit by surprise, given the fact that it's one of the most successful and acclaimed Broadway shows of all time, and the fact that this version has been available to watch on Disney Plus for the past 5 years, believe it or not. I didn't think as many people would go out and see it, but no, I think similar to what we saw with K-pop Demon Hunters, just the legacy and impact this show has had, and the many fans who wanted to get the chance to see this on the big screen went a bit under the radar for some people, and so it really surprised a lot of people. Wanted to go and see it on the big screen for the first time, or just to relive the glory days of seeing it for the first time and bring their friends and family here. Again, despite the fact that it's been readily available to watch on Disney Plus. So yeah, not much more else to say here, really. It's the theatrical release of Hamilton. I doubt it's gonna have any lasting legs, given that I think this is just gonna be in theaters for a couple weeks or so. And again, this is already on Disney Plus, so it's nothing major really, but still really impressive numbers. It's nice to see these surprises in the top 5 for sure, and this is certainly one of them. And finally, let's end the video off with the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was The Conjuring Last Rites, opening with $84 million this weekend domestically and $194 million worldwide. This is the 7th biggest opening of the year so far, topping How to Train Your Dragon, Thunderbolts, and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, but still sitting behind Captain America: Brave New World, Jurassic World Rebirth, Fantastic Four, Superman, Lilo and Stitch, and a Minecraft movie. It's the 3rd biggest opening for a horror movie ever, topping Five Nights at Freddy's and the 2018 Halloween, but still sitting behind both It movies. It's the biggest opening for a horror movie this year, topping Final Destination Bloodlines, Sinners, Weapons, and 28 Years Later. And it's the biggest opening in the Conjuring franchise, topping The Nun, The Conjuring 2, and Annabelle. I had a feeling this movie would surprise and do really well. It's been a successful year for horror thus far, and like I said, The Conjuring has been one of the biggest horror franchises of the modern ages. But to see this movie reach these numbers is astonishing. Again, the ceiling for this franchise was $50 million when The Nun came out in 2018. So the fact that this movie bested that by $30 million is insane. I mean, keep in mind, folks, we had a bunch of spin-offs and even a sequel after that didn't really match the Nun's opening. So this, again, seeing this movie reach these heights is astonishing. I think it's because this is like the last film in like the mainline series of movies. I'm sure there'll be more spin-offs and follow-ups after, but this is it. This is like the final film apparently with the Warrens, and I think a lot of people wanted to go check this franchise out for possibly the last time. They love seeing this couple get into the most paranormal, freaky stuff you could get yourselves into. The marketing was really solid, and like with Weapons, it's the unofficial start of spooky season, and this is a great way to get people into the spooky spirit of the holiday. Best part about this is that it's only a $55 million movie. It's already tripled that already, and it's on its way to becoming the biggest horror film of the year, especially worldwide. Domestically, it's going to be interesting to see how this challenges Sinners, but given the opening, it wouldn't surprise me if it puts up a good fight. Yeah, just a really astonishing, surprising opening. I'm very curious to see where this movie goes, if it can keep up this momentum, because people aren't too kind to this movie. Critics were really mixed on it. It got a 55 on Rotten Tomatoes last I checked, and audiences were a bit split on it as well. It got a B on CinemaScore, which isn't bad for a horror film, but compared to the other like mainline Conjuring films, it's the lowest out of those. It's still above like some of the spin-offs like Annabelle and The Nun, but the mainline stuff, the Conjuring 2, Devil Made Me Do It, it's under those movies. Those got like A minuses and B pluses, so that's definitely concerning and definitely something to take into consideration as far as this movie's legs. But again, the movie opened so massive, and clearly the interest is through the roof with this movie. I can't see this really affecting it that much. We'll probably see some damage here and there, but it's nothing drastic or anything. So yeah, a huge opening for Conjuring Last Rites. I'm very excited to see how further this movie can go. And those were the top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, but we're not quite done yet as we've got another week ahead of us and new movies hitting theaters. And this weekend, there are a number of wide releases like Downton Abbey, the grand finale, and The Long Walk, but the one that I think that's going to leave the biggest impact is, believe it or not, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which of course is based off the beloved anime series of the same name. It's apparently supposed to be the start of a trilogy of the grand finale of sorts. Sorry, I don't watch the show. I'm sorry, but I am aware of it. I'm aware of the impact and the legacy of the show. It has many fans, and because of that, I think this one's gonna do really, really well. Not just in like the anime movie sense that we see, where like, oh, this movie cracked into the top 5. No, I think this one's gonna really deliver. I think they've been marketing it well. I've been seeing a lot of promos for it recently. The buzz is through the roof. Again, I'm aware of the fans, and I know they are very, very excited to see it. And reportedly, the ticket sales are through the roof. When they first went on sale, apparently it crashed the Fandango website, and it's tracking very, very well. A lot of people want to go and see this movie, which is great to see for, something like this. Not just, like an animated series, but something from Japan, something not based in the US that's about to like really crush the box office after, The Conjuring also crushed the box office. So that's even more impressive that this is gonna probably take down a juggernaut opening that we just had, which again is insane to think about given that the show's been running for a bit now. It's not The Simpsons or Dragon Ball or anything. It's more recent, if I recall. So the fact that the fan base has grown to this extent to where the movie is tracking and expected to be a huge opening is really impressive to see. So yeah, I have a lot of hope. I think we're going to see a really solid opening here with Demon Slayer, but we'll see how well this movie truly does, as well as the rest of the movies that land in the top 5 on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all those social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.